Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my Silent Hill Transmission March 2025 impressions. And I heard that Konami was going to do a showcase, and they evidently focused on Silent Hill F, lowercase f, and they did a new trailer, which was about, not quite 4 minutes. I watched it and I'm like, wow, this looks really kind of fucking freaky. Like, I'm not that well versed with Silent Hill. I've talked to people about it and everything. Not that I have anything against it, but Konami, being the complete and utter kind of dick fucks that they are, has made it completely and utterly horrendous to attempt to actually play this series in any kind of modern form. That's Konami and also game preservation, because fuck it, people wouldn't want to play old ass games because they're fucking good, right? Yeah. So I very much don't have that much of experience on it. I do know that we have had the Silent Hill 2 remake. I've heard good things about that. I will be looking into that at a certain point, but this is evidently a new entry. I know that the franchise has been in a weird kind of spot because of later entries not being as well received. That kind of happens. So this one evidently will take place players to 1960s Japan. And seeing that, we see these kind of like school kids and somebody talking about like friends and betrayals and stuff like that. I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. And how it's got the kind of fog and everything, how the creatures are kind of crazy and move in very unnatural ways. I'm like, oh, this is kind of creeping my ass out. We see these like red kind of flowers. She's kind of going through piping certain kind of shit, i.e. using a pipe to like beat some motherfucking kind of shit. We see her like arm getting messed up, her back kind of getting messed up, and it's kind of ruminating on like who this, let me see, Hinako? Yeah, Hinako is her connections to her friends, her being kind of like stuck in this place and like having like all these kind of headaches and everything. It's like, what the hell is going on here? It was very kind of intriguing. It looks very well done, at least trailer wise. Okay, I don't take that for much anymore until you kind of get it in your hands, and it's gonna be on various different kind of consoles, PC being one of them. So, yay. So let's get into the kind of information that we get here. It was first announced in 2022, described as a game that looks to take place in a beautiful, therefore terrifying world. It'll be written by Ryukishi 07, the acclaimed Japanese visual novel writer behind the Higurashi and Umeneko series. I know Higurashi by name, I think, if this is the same one that I'm thinking of. I'm not that familiar with Umeneko. Now, it's kind of interesting that it's gone a little bit dark for that long, but it's good that we're getting some more kind of information on it. They won't spoil, let's see. Wasn't ready to spoil what the decision would be. I don't know, this article kind of went a little bit crazy. I don't know what that's referring to. I'll leave it Konami to set the stage. Shimizu Hinako was living her life as an ordinary teenager, the official description reads. That is, until her town is suddenly shrouded in fog and begins to change in a horrific way. Now she must explore a town that she no longer recognizes while solving puzzles, fighting strange enemies, and doing everything she can to survive, in order to face the ultimate decisions that she must make. This is a tale about a beautiful yet terrifying choice. Interesting. And it gets more, like, I understand that, like, you live in your place and then something kind of will shift. And you'll either learn something or feel something, and this hometown, which is supposed to make you feel safe and everything, turns into something that is very kind of hostile to you. Now, I really like seeing that kind of played out here because it rarely turns into, like, the complete kind of craziness that, like, goes on here. This is kind of like, holy fucking shit! But, that's what sometimes happens to people in the real world. Like, something goes, and you're like, I don't recognize where I am anymore. This new game will be an original story that will be a great place for new players to jump in, but there'll be certain Easter eggs waiting for series veterans. That sounds pretty cool. it's always a kind of crazy thing to kind of balance that thing, letting it being noob friendly, noob to the series, because guess what? I'm a noob to the series, man. And while also being able to have the series veterans have some kind of stuff as well. The way it should be done is that you're like, okay, here's some stuff that'll grab people in, introduce them to the franchise, get them acclimated here, and then value added stuff into there where it's like, do I need to read a D&D book with like 30 fucking hours of lore to understand who the fuck that is? Don't go that deep. It should always be value add of like, oh dude, this is awesome, and you want to go read that shit. And then you get that more awesome shit. Let's see. Konami also focused a few more details on the game, including that will take place in the fictional Japanese town of Ebisugaoka, which is based on a real place called Kanayama Gero in Gifu Prefecture. Next, creature and character designer Kara presented a message that should excite fans as it teases what horrors await them in Silent Hill F. I love the Silent Hill series, and it's been a big influence on me, Kara said. That's good to know. In particular, I'm constantly remembering Silent Hill 2 and the messages on the walls, the music, and the monster designs. So when it came to Silent Hill F and bringing the setting into Japan, we had to come up with something that felt just a little different, and I had to think about how to get that feeling. The monster designs were the hardest. I get that. And it's nice to hear that, like, one of the big ones, Silent Hill 2, influenced that, but the thing is, we get the proof in the pudding. It's like, I definitely hear this a lot when people are like, oh, yeah, this kind of influenced me and everything like that, da-da-da-da-da. It's like, and then you get the product and you're like, what the fuck? Now, that could be true on the person designing it, and then you get the executives involved, and it just, it almost wipes the whole fucking final product. So, it's good to hear this, good to learn it, but we'll see how it pans out. I had to consider everything that's come in Silent Hill before and figure out how to take this game in a different direction, but still be Silent Hill. That is the eternal kind of struggle. It might not be the exact same blood-smeared, rusting scenery, but I sincerely hope you'll enjoy our vision and the world we've created. Typical. It's fine. Good, like, it's pretty much what Konami would pretty much probably have somebody say, but you're always trying to balance that and to give certain expectations. You're like, okay, whenever you're trying to make any kind of new entry, I mean, even when you're trying to do stuff in like Halo or Gears or any kind of other kind of franchise that somebody is passionately connected to, there can be a balance of understanding what made the games previously work, pulling that kind of in, but doing your own kind of original kind of take on it. It's not always bad to be like, okay, in order to move a franchise forward, we've got these basic kind of trappings. We understand what makes this work. And then do your own kind of original take on it. Now, that doesn't mean you just decide people like Pokemon and you put a Pikachu hat on a fucking slobbering mutant thing and have them, like, eating fucking people Sekiro style in a Pokemon kind of setting and just be like, this is Pokemon. It's like, you just put a Pokemon hat on something that's fucking insane, so trying to get the Pokemon crowd on that, no, you just done fucked it up. So there's the balancing that hopefully should work out. Music will also be a very important part of Silent Hill F, and the team is bringing together longtime Silent Hill composer Akira Yamaoka and Kensuke Inagi, Dynasty Warriors series, and more, to create music for both the Fog World and Otherworld respectively. Interesting two worlds. Dynasty Warriors series. That's interesting. I composed music for an unsettling yet beautiful world that uses imagery from shrines, blending ancient Japanese court music with ambient echoes. Interesting, Inagi said. I wove in various techniques that will connect the player to the protagonist's agony, internal conflict, fear, and other emotions. And this is going to be interesting because I don't know the other settings very much for Silent Hill, but I think this is like the first one in Japan. So it's going to be interesting to see that kind of, what kind of shifts and changes that'll work. If I'm incorrect, please tell me in the comments below. Educate me. I want to learn. While we didn't get a release date, it was confirmed that Silent Hill F will be released on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. So, your platforms of choice, go for it. Hopefully Konami is not a complete and utter pile of assholes and dicks, but you never know. So, I really would recommend looking into the trailer to get the kind of feel. As a trailer goes, I think it was a nice one to kind of set up the kind of themes and motifs that we're going to be seeing, the main kind of character that we're going to be interacting with, and how they're kind of approaching Silent Hill as this kind of series. And it worked for me. Now, trailers don't mean dick unless it actually is able to execute on certain kind of things and actually showcases the actual fucking game. I've been burned too many goddamn fucking times where it's like, this is not actual gameplay. No shit, motherfucker. You showed me a fucking... It's like being shown Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and then being given Final Fantasy VII's graphics. Now, back in the day, like, I like Final Fantasy VII. Alright? I'm not trying to do that to shit on Final Fantasy VII. It's mainly to be like, this is what you will get graphic-wise, and you actually get something that's completely and utterly horrendous. It's like, no. Fuck that noise. Don't be like, I'm going to shoot for this, and I can only give you this. Show me an accurate representation, because guess what? I like the Final Fantasy VII one. Alright? As long as it's good and plays well, I don't give a shit. If you're trying to fake fucking market me into being like, this is your anime husband, motherfucker, and then it looks like a fucking block-ass motherfucker that is from, like, Minecraft, and I'm like, no. That's what I don't like. If you get me from the jump and say, this is a blocky-ass looking motherfucker, have fun in this JRPG, and then you show me how this fucking works, and it actually is how it's able to work as I play it, I'm fucking fine with that. So, hopefully what we have seen represented here is a good representation. I would just let them cook and see what comes up. I'm patient on games. I don't want people to be overworked and fucked over just to put out a product that nobody's happy with. The people that pretty much almost killed themselves to do it, and the fans that are like, this is a broken fucking mess, and everybody's just pissed off and like, whatever, and only certain kind of people are getting money out of the fucking stupid ass system. It's like, no. And then they're like, but it's like, no. Take your time on the project, get it into a state that is acceptable and as bug-free as possible, because, listen, there's a certain kind of wiggle room. I understand certain kind of bugs and shit can pop up and shit, but if I have to essentially try and fight off 50 fucking bugs in order to make one step forward, that's a broken-ass game. Now, if I'm going through and it's pretty much pristine and sometimes a funny-ass bug pops up and I'm like, that's the money, because there you go. So, those are my impressions on the Silent Hill transmission. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.